In the world of detailing today, there's a lot of options for tools. It's probably never a better time to be a guy who's into having flawless paint jobs, but there's a lot of confusion about which tool to use or what makes one tool different from another. What I talk about briefly here is kind of an assortment of the different polishers that are out there. This is just a small sampling of what you have available to you at a number of retailers. I'm going to start with probably the most basic and one that the most people are familiar with, and that's the Porter cable. This guy's been around for a long time. It's a solid tool, very, very durable, works really, really well. It does have its limitations though. It is considered underpowered compared to some other tools, but it's also extremely affordable. It's a tool that pretty much anybody can pick up and learn. I personally learned how to polish with a dual action polisher or a orbital polisher with this particular tool, an older model obviously, but it's a great tool, solid, maybe has its limitations on paint correction. In the area of newer tools, probably the hottest tools on the market come from Rupes. And what I have here is their 21 millimeter and their mini. What makes these tools different, they orbit just like the Porter cable does. So there's no forced rotation, the pad-free spins, but it orbits. What makes this tool more powerful is that it has a 21 millimeter orbit, much larger than the little tiny orbit of the Porter cable. So it hits a much larger area. They offer tools at 21, 15, and 12 millimeters. And then there's the little guy, the mini, for getting into your tight spaces. This is a great tool, especially with microfiber pads. I love it with microfiber. Corrects fast, corrects well, and finishes down great. Very well made, popular for a right reason. Another very popular tool in that kind of category is the Flex, and a lot of people are familiar with this one. It still orbits, but this one features a gear-driven rotation. So what that means is that the rotation of the pad is constant. At full speed, this does 480 revolutions per minute in addition to the oscillating movement. What this does, it means this tool, unlike other orbitals, doesn't stall out when you hit a curve. And that's important for some guys. You work on cars with a lot of curved panels, you will notice on a tool like the 21 millimeter Bigfoot here that the pad will stop rotating. It's not because the machine isn't working anymore, it just can't overcome the curve of that panel. This tool isn't going to stop rotating no matter what you do because it has a gear-driven rotation. Also very great. Both of these tools are pretty comparable in the level of correction they're capable of doing. They just kind of approach it in different ways. Now the tool that probably scares people the most and the one that has the most rumors about how you can destroy your paint out there would be a rotary polisher. And this is different than any of the other polishers we have here on the table because it's a fixed axis rotation. It just spins in one area. These are, in my opinion, best left to professionals. This is the type of tool you're going to use for cut and buff jobs, say a fresh paint job that's been sanded, a lot of times with wool pads or foamed wool pads. They still have their place in paint detailing and correction. It's just a little bit more powerful, best left to a professional, or those situations where you need something that you can't quite achieve with one of these tools. Regardless, there's so many options out there on the market. We make a variety of pads, polishes, and other accessories that work with any number of tools in the detailing industry. So regardless of the paint condition you're starting with, you'll be able to achieve perfection regardless of which tool you're using.